Some believe that dogs can sense things, and on this occasion, Hachi was correct. Richard is getting ready to go to work, and Hachi goes outside but doesn't move. His owner calls him, but Hachi refuses to come. Richard tries to approach him while Hachi backs away, circling in place as if trying to tell him something, or rather, trying to warn him of something. Parker found this dog years ago at a train station. He was on the street, so he rescued him, took him home, and took care of him. He is an Akita Inu, one of the most intelligent, calm, and faithful breeds. Now you will understand why Parker, who was a teacher, naturally grew fond of him little by little. He even tried to teach him to play with a ball, but he never succeeded. Time passed, Hachi grew, and being so intelligent, he found a way to follow the professor to the train station. This act became a routine in the lives of these two friends and is the main reason for this sad story. The dog amazingly knew what time the train would arrive and waited for it to return home with Parker. They had a tremendous affection for each other. Hachi is behaving very strangely. He doesn't want to go with him. It's as if he's trying to give him a message. His wife, who sees them from a distance, asks what's happening, but Richard doesn't understand. Since he is running late, he decides to leave without Hachi. Hachi goes into the house and takes the yellow ball, something he had never done before. He opens the door and goes after his owner. Richard is about to reach the station and looks back to find his friend, but this time he doesn't appear. Resigned, he opens the door, and he finds it very strange that Hachi has the ball. He decides to play with him for a bit. The man is so puzzled by Hachi's behavior that he comments to the guard that it's the first time he has done this. Time is running and he's going to be late for work, so he leaves, but Hachi stops barking and tries everything to prevent him from leaving. But finally, he boards the train, and Hachi looks very distressed. He watches his owner leave without knowing that May 21st would be the last time they would see each other. The professor goes on with his class as usual, talking to his students about music and composers. You can see that he still carries the ball he played with his dog a few hours earlier, but then he stops talking, grimaces in pain, still holding the ball in his hand. He tries to lean on the chairs to catch his breath, forces a fake smile as if everything is fine. And when the discomfort seems to have passed, the professor gets up. On May 21st, 1925, Richard died from an intracranial hemorrhage. Hachi watched as everyone got off the train, but his owner never appeared. His family took him home, and later they held a funeral. But since Hachi never saw his master's body and didn't understand what had truly happened, the family moved to a new house nearby. But Hachi felt sad being there. He followed the tracks until he found the train station, where he waited for his owner. Kay understood the situation and let him be, free to wait for an event that would never happen. Hachi slept under the abandoned trains and fed on what others gave him. The days turned into months, and the months into years. For me, the strongest scene in the movie comes next. Kay returns to the town to visit her late husband's grave, where we realize that 10 years have passed since the tragic event. She bids farewell to the grave and starts making her way back to the train station. Suddenly she sees an old and worn-out Hachi attentively looking at the gate, waiting for something that had been happening for 10 years. Hachi continued to wait for his owner at the station every day for 10 years. In a final scene, we see Hachi lying down, cold and tired. He closes his eyes, and when he opens them, he finally sees his owner. He just says his name and laughs, almost imagining them running together through the forest, remembering when he arrived at the station and the person he loved most in the world greeted him happily. In the mind of the little dog, he and his owner were reunited, but no longer in this world. Hachi went with him. This Akita Inu was found dead at the station on March 8, 1934, at the age of 11, in the city of Shibuya, still waiting for his owner. It is one of the greatest acts of loyalty ever documented. The real professor's name was Hidesaburo Ueno. He died from an intracranial hemorrhage at the age of 53. His remains rest in Aoyama Cemetery, along with a monolith bearing his pet's name. The dog became known to the people at the station, attracting the attention of newspapers and making his story famous. In his honor, a statue was erected in front of Shibuya Station. His story was adapted into a Japanese film called Hachiko Monogatari in 1987, and later into a Western version. I believe that all of us who have had pets can identify with this story. Pets accept us for who we are, make us feel unjudged, and that's why we feel so connected to them and end up loving them so much. Our pets don't care about who we are, how we look, or how much we have. So, if you have a pet, go and hug them right now. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe for more content like this and hit the like button to help us out. Also leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie.